Hello and welcome again to another episode of Eat, Smoke, Drink. And if you haven't already and you've just joined me, I have a ton of different reviews that I've got on this channel so far. Well, not a ton. I'm still developing it, of course, and adding new ones every week, or a couple of times every week. What I focus on are off the beaten path whiskies. What I focus on are independently bottled whiskies, single malt, single barrels, because they're harder to find. Any regular Joe can go to the liquor store and get yourself a normal Glenfiddich 12. What I focus on is something a little bit more off the beaten path. What I call unique and bespoke experiences, because one bottle, there's only a few hundred of them around the world, and when they're gone, they're gone. That's it. Today, I'm going to review the SMOS Single Malt of Scotland. Single Malts of Scotland. This is my second ever bottle of Single Malts of Scotland, and I'm going to review the Glenlossie distillery. Glenlossie, you're probably thinking, what is that? Glenlossie is not the most common when it comes to distillery bottlings. In fact, I don't even think they release distillery bottlings at all. They share the distillery with another brand called Monarchmore. You've probably heard of that. They do have somewhere around the world regional releases of distillery bottlings, Monarchmore from memory, but they do share the same distillery and warehouse, a slightly different style of whiskey. Glenlossie is a Speyside dram, and most of its single malt is actually produced for blends. You're probably wondering, if it's so good, why don't they use it for single malts? Well, actually, most whiskey in the world that is sold, a vast majority of them, is actually blended whiskey. Because blended whiskey is more palatable, it's cheaper, you can have younger whiskies and you blend barrels together and they create a smoother profile. I'm not after a smooth profile, I'm after the character of the whiskey itself. And as you progress through your whiskey journey, shall I say, you end up seeking out sometimes slightly more challenging whiskies or different whiskies, because that is what your palate hungers. If you're sitting there going, oh no, I'm happy with my Johnnie Walker Black and I'm going to stick to that, well then, hey, you're missing out. You really are missing out. So Glenlossie, this is my first time ever trying a Glenlossie. So you're having this experience with me for the first time, and I've never had a Glenlossie before, so let's get tasting. Or let's get nosing. Sorry, take it back. Let's get nosing. Oh wow. There's definitely quite a medicinal smell to that. This is a 59.4%. 59.4%. So for an 11-year-old, the barrel is actually relatively active. I'm not smelling too much sweetness in there. Medicinal, herbal, slightly fruity. I can smell a bit of spice. Let me just. I'm getting fresh cut grass. Like fresh cut wet grass, more of a, yeah, it's quite resiny. Yeah, not very sweet, slightly fruity, slight earthiness, slightly savory, quite herbal. Look, I'm struggling to, a bit of thyme. Vanilla, a bit of caramel, and sugar syrup. Got a slight chalkiness as well. Now that I'm just letting it breathe a little bit more, I'm getting a few more flavors out of it. Very light smelling, not too heavy, but it's fruity, resiny, grass, a bit of pine resin, fresh leaves. Let's nose the one with water. Wow. With water, it changes quite a bit. I'm getting a sickly cotton candy sweetness now, actually. The savoriness has subsided. Wow, I'm getting sugary, cotton candy, fruitiness is still there, I'm getting overripe apple. Mango. Like that creaminess of the mango. With water it definitely opens up a lot more. The smell anyway. I'm getting a dry fruitiness in there, reminiscent of an unripe stone fruit, unripe nectarine. And a very, very faint floral nature, like rose water. That's it, rose water. But there's a dry, chalky perfume. Very unique, very different. I've never tried a Glenlossie before and I'm quite excited. Let's taste. Let's taste. The taste is quite sweet. The heat's not too much. Quite dry on the palate, but sweet at the same time. I don't know how to describe that. A slight sourness with the sweet after the sweet. I'm getting an orange marmalade with that. Candied orange, shall I say, not marmalade, candied orange. It's a very zesty dram. Sweet, sour, not much earthiness to it. A little bit of syrupiness, oily. It feels quite oily on the palate. Lingering finish, long lingering finish. Now let's try the one with water. So far it's been quite a nice drink. The dram is quite nice, very pleasant, very unique actually. The water softens it a lot. Water softens it, sweetens it. Fruitiness comes out a lot more. But sour fruit. But it does get a little bit sweeter with water. There is a strange woodiness to it that I'm quite enjoying, but I can't put my finger on. Actually, you know what's not woodiness? It's actually a slight leatheriness to it. It's oily, definitely oily. It's not heavy, but it's medium to heavy. Very nice dram. It's got an aftertaste of a slight bitterness, slight sourness, and a slight spice. The orange, candied orange starts to go, it becomes more of a candied lemon. A very complex whiskey. I like it. I really do like it. Would I recommend buying this again? Yes, I would. This is probably 70 to 80 US dollars. It's a hell of a good value for what you get. And Glenlossie, it's not every day you see a Glenlossie. It's the first time I've had it. Cigar Pairings. I'd say go for an oily triple maduro, Nica Rustica, Undercrown, Liga Pravida range, Arturo fuene Anejo, because it is quite a complex whiskey. It's not overly heavy and it's quite zesty, quite sweet. I think it'll really fit those very well. Thank you for joining me today, and very exciting to have tried my first Glenlossie. And don't forget to eat, smoke and drink. Cheers.